Who won't practice today?
Chubb, Freeman, Lindsey will be the three that won't practice.
Okay. What's Freeman's issue? Is that
He has a hip
okay?
issue.
Gotcha. Two more for you. Two Pro Bowlers the other night. How deserving were Bradley and Justin for those honors?
I think very deserving. I think in the case of Justin, it was a 2-year body of work. I thought he played really well last year. It should have been considered strongly and should have made it last year. His good play carried over into this year, and he got recognized for it. I'm very happy for him. And I think in Bradley's case, very, very deserving and extra special for him in that he's coming back from an ACL. He was an A-plus patient in his rehab, the way he attacked it and was committed to it. And I think he got, this. The big thing was him being able to play the way he played this year, but this is just like a cherry on top of the sundae that he's getting rewarded for that.
And then last thing for me, off topic, you've given McTelvin 35 snaps over the last 2 games on the defensive line. What have you liked about his progress, and what do you think of his potential?
There's potential there. Obviously, there's ups and downs anytime you put a young guy in there in the trenches. He's experienced some of that. On that last run they scored, he could have played that much better. Mm-hmm. But we like Sosa, and we like his future, and hopefully he can keep improving.
Thanks.
Next one, Arnie.
Hey, Vic. What does it say about Bradley that he was able to have the season he did? Not to take anything away from the guys on the other side, but he didn't have Von Miller, and so he was, even though he was, teams concentrated on him, he was able to put up these stats. And then secondly, what do you think he could be with a healthy Von Miller back and have that 1-2 tandem like you would hope to have this year in 2021?
Yeah, I just think he had a great season. His numbers, sack numbers, hurries, and hits, and those things were ranked real high as a total. Obviously, the more good pass rushers you have in there, it helps everybody. We definitely missed Vaughn. Bradley missed Vaughn. We had a lot of games there where our defensive linemen weren't available, starting defensive linemen. That has an effect. And, I just think he played great in spite of all the obstacles he had to overcome.
Next one, Mike Kliss.
Yeah, Coach, some tough news a couple days ago with Kevin Greene passing away. I looked it up. He had some of his best seasons with you in Carolina. What can you say about him as a guy and as a player?
Yeah, very sad and surprised to hear of his passing. Kevin was a guy that I coached for a couple of years, had great seasons with us. Very passionate football player. He loved football. He's eat, slept, every moment of the day for him was about football. And even when he stopped playing and started coaching, him and I would always talk at the combine or other places where we would see each other. So I'm going to miss him. The football world's going to miss him. But my condolences go out to his family. Great player, great person.
Next one, Brandon.
Coach, I know that it's maybe more of a John question and you can't predict the future, but do you expect that Justin Simmons is back no matter what, whether it's franchise tag or on a big deal, obviously after the couple of years he's had under you?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I can't really totally comment on that other than to say I know Justin wants to be here and we want him here. So usually something can be done.
Next one, Jeff Leghorn.
Vic, you were saying the other day it seemed like every week you were facing a quarterback who was doing good things. Just your impressions of Herbert and kind of how your plan is going to work out in the secondary this week.
Yeah, Herbert's having a great season. Very, very impressed with him. Big arm, big body, fast, strong in the pocket, hard to get down, has really run their offense with a great command. I think their offensive coaches have done a good job of bringing him along, and he's been very, very impressive. Our secondary, will basically align the same way it did last week.
And then I know, and this is sort of me looking ahead with a guy like Vaughn, but I think Kevin was the oldest guy to lead the league in sacks when you were coaching him. How does a player do better as his career advances like that?
Just take great care of their body. You know, that goes with workouts, that goes with sleep, that goes with nutrition, all of that stuff. And that's something that Kevin Greene, you know, breathed every moment of his life while he was a player. You know, what am I doing to make myself a better player? And I think Vaughn can do that too. You know, Vaughn had a great offseason last year. He was primed and ready to have a great season this year. And then the unfortunate injury happened during the first week of the preparation for the first game. So there's no doubt in my mind that Vaughn can do that.
Next, we'll go to Troy Rank before opening it up to the entire group.
Coach, thanks for the time. You know, Gordon got criticism early, and then he missed the game and had the arrest. But what is your impression of his season? I mean, you look at his stats these last 4 or 5 games. It's like 5.5 yards a carry. And do you kind of wish maybe this DUI thing had been resolved rather than have it maybe bleed into the offseason, which could result in a suspension next year?
You know, that's totally out of our hands. That's, you know, due to the legal system, his representation, all what they are doing with that. You know, it's something that we have no say in. But we like Melvin. You know, Melvin's a good back. He was a good back before we got him, and he's a good back now still. And I've been pleased with his season overall.
Next, we'll go to Fernando Ramirez with the LA Chargers Media Group.
Question about Chris Harris Jr. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. You guys faced the Chargers the first time, and Chris Harris wasn't a part of the team. Now he's back from the injury. Just your thoughts on him and his leadership and everything he brought to you guys while your time there?
Yeah, Chris was a great player here for the Broncos for many, many years. Obviously a great nickel, very good corner, good football player, good instincts, sees the game through a lens that is wider and deeper than most, and can be a good leader within the defensive back room as far as pointing out things and mentoring and tutoring young defensive backs. So he has a lot of great qualities to him. And he's been playing good now since he's gotten back into the lineup.
Next, we'll go to Brandon and time for a few more after that.
Coach, sticking with the Chargers, Anthony Lynn's obviously come on under fire, but he's had his team in seemingly every game. What do you see from them, and how much better are they maybe than their record?
Well, they're a lot better than their record. You know, the stats show that. Their games show that. They've just come out on the short end of a bunch of close games. They're playing very well offensively and defensively. Their quarterback is playing great. They got a lot of good skilled players on offense. They got good players on defense. You know, they're a good team that, you know, just hasn't gone their way in a lot of these games.
Next one, Eric Dewala.
Yeah, Vic, Austin Eckler didn't play last time. What added element does he bring to that LA offense, and kind of what's the plan there for him?
He brings a lot. He's a great back. He's very versatile. He's a good runner, obviously, when they hand it off to him. He's a really good receiver out of the backfield. You know, both running routes or getting screens and checkdowns. He's elusive. He's hard to tackle in the open field. He's a great, great back. You know, they chose to keep him over Melvin, so that tells you how they feel about him.
Final two, Zach.
Hey, Coach, when we talked to you on Monday, you said you were going to talk to the medical people about Vaughn and his future being able to practice this week. What were you able to get from that?
Yeah, right now I don't think he's going to be able to start practicing or play this season. That's the way it looks right now.
Final one, Ryan.
Hey, Vic, you know, Drew Lock now is at 16 starts for his career. As he goes into these last 2 games, what is he doing that is encouraging to you and your staff to say, hey, this could be a guy to move forward with?
He makes a lot of good plays, you know, good throws, makes good plays with his feet. He's athletic, can avoid the pressure, can scramble and make plays. We just, you know, need to see more of it, keep improving in all the little things that Drew can improve on. Nobody's working harder than him to do that. He has the great want to and the great drive to be a great quarterback. And we just hope to see constant improvement with him.